A spiritual journey, the power of vision, voice, and divine calling. Life is often filled with experiences that challenge our understanding of the physical world. Throughout my own journey, I have encountered moments that were not easily explained by ordinary logic. From encounters with unseen entities to hearing voices that seem to come from a higher place, these events have shaped my path and led me to a deeper understanding of who I am and the purpose I am called to fulfill. The unseen presence. Many years ago, I had an experience that I will never forget. One night, I found myself in a place that seemed to be beyond the physical. I woke up in my room, but something was different. I could see my body lying on the bed, yet I was not in it. It was as if my spirit had lifted, and I was floating above myself, unable to touch anything or interact with the world around me. This moment left me feeling disconnected from my body, as though I was somewhere else entirely. The experience was both surreal and terrifying at the time, but it also opened me up to a new understanding of the spirit realm. The voice of calling. As time passed, I had another experience that further deepened my spiritual journey. One day, I heard a voice, clear and unmistakable, that told me I was destined to be a prophet. It was not just a thought or a fleeting idea. It was a voice that seemed to resonate deep within me, one that I knew was divine in origin. I didn't understand fully what this meant at the time, but I knew in my heart that it was a message I needed to heed. This voice, I believe, was God speaking to me, guiding me toward a higher purpose. Spiritual entities and influences. Before I fully embraced my faith, I also had experiences with what many might describe as spiritual partners, encounters with entities that seemed to be attached to me, especially during times of intimacy or deep vulnerability. It was during these times that I began to understand the concepts of spiritual forces at work in the world. Whether we call them incubus, succubus, or something else, these experiences can be unsettling, but they also serve as reminders of the unseen influences that can affect our lives. The Bible speaks of such forces, warning of spiritual warfare and the need for discernment in recognizing what is of God and what is not. Ephesians 6:12. Biblical connection. Throughout the Bible, there are stories of individuals having divine encounters, whether through dreams, visions, or direct revelations. The story of the Apostle Paul's conversion on the road to Damascus, Acts 9:3-6, is one example where a voice from heaven called him to a higher purpose. Much like my own experience with the voice that called me to be a prophet, Paul received guidance from the divine that transformed his life. Jesus himself encountered and cast out demons, showing the power of God over the spiritual realm, Mark 1:34. This speaks to the reality that spiritual forces, whether of God or of evil, can have a powerful influence on our lives. The Bible also reminds us to guard our hearts and minds, staying close to God's truth and seeking deliverance from any spiritual oppression, James 4:7. Reflection and conclusion. Reflecting on all these experiences, I have come to understand that they were not random or meaningless events. They were part of a divine calling, a spiritual awakening that has led me to where I am today. Whether it's the visions I saw of my own body, the voice calling me to be a prophet, or the spiritual forces I encountered, each moment has taught me about the power of the unseen world and the importance of staying connected to God's guidance. I share these experiences because I know that I am not alone. Many people have walked similar paths and encountered the same spiritual battles. It is my hope that by sharing my journey, others may find encouragement, understanding, and strength in their own spiritual walk. And if you've had experiences that feel similar to mine, remember you are not alone. There is a divine purpose for your life, and God is with you, guiding you toward fulfillment of that purpose. Scripture to reflect on. Ephesians 6:12, For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Acts 9:3-6. The conversion of Paul on the road to Damascus, when he hears God's calling. James 4, 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, Chidi.